Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Johnnie Walker Dread. We're doing this again. I have a couple of hosts. We're going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves, although I think everybody knows one of them pretty well already. But anyway, let me introduce myself. I'm Johnnie Walker Dread. I have the Johnnie Walker Dread Show, and I'm trying to see how many times I can say Johnnie Walker Dread tonight. But I have a YouTube channel called the Johnnie Walker Dread Show. That's 5 times. And what it does is it covers primarily politics, especially the Kenosha shootings, which you might know as the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. And of course, I have one of our co hosts was a big part of that. I also cover the Rashad Ritchie's academic fraud. I'll come out and say it. He's a prominent YouTuber on the Young Turks, and he has been BSing his way through his career, and I've been exposing that. And I think I have about 100 videos on him uncovering his fake PhDs, his fake claims, and all that. Plus, I cover just whatever comes up that's really a hot topic. And tonight we're going to talk about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And we have a couple of co-hosts. We're going to introduce themselves. And so, Anne, how about you?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Ann. You know me as Grambo. I stood up in the Kenosha riots. I was standing up with Kyle Rittenhouse. I want to discuss the rhetoric going on between both conservatives and Democrats, the liberals, progressives, just all that. It's just a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, I'd like to discuss the assassination attempt on Trump tonight. So
By
that's
the
why
way,
I'm
does
here.
everybody? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Does everybody know how you got the name Grambo?
Um,
I do.
I don't. How did I?
Nick
That's
Rakita.
the Soviak, right?
It was on Nick Rakita's show, the live stream he was doing. He
That's it.
nicknamed you, or maybe it was one of his co-hosts nicknamed you Grambo because you carried a 45 caliber pistol, which is perfect Western pistol, right? I mean, that's awesome. To the riots, and so that's how you got your nickname.
Mhm.
So everybody, if you watch the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, you'll know Ann. She was on the stand, and in my opinion, and I've said this many times, I think that Binger felt up until the time he took the stand that he had a chance. And I think that after you got off, I think he realized it was over. I really think that your testimony was kind of the defining moment for him. At that point, he was just trying not to lose. But
Yeah.
that's my opinion. Lisa, how about you?
Hi, guys. I'm Lisa. I'm a licensed private investigator in the state of Wisconsin. I work primarily around Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, Waukesha County, sometimes Racine, Kenosha. Um, I got invited onto the podcast tonight. My first podcast, never been on
Yay.
one. So I don't know what I'm in for. So hopefully
It'll be fun.
so I have
hopefully Ann didn't bring me on to really
so I have
bust
some
my
questions.
balls. What was
I'm
that?
sorry,
No.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I have a couple of questions for you. Since you're in the Milwaukee area and you're a private investigator, did you get involved in the Kyle Rittenhouse Kenosha shooting at all?
I involved myself in the Rittenhouse stuff. The night that it happened, I was watching all the live streams on Facebook, and a lot of those criminals and people that were involved down there are well known actors in Milwaukee. So I was kind of making mental notes and letting some of my law enforcement friends know and just kind of getting the word out there like, hey, you have a group of troublemakers coming down there and I know who they are. They're coming down. And so that's sort of how I got myself involved. I believe I did get a call to interview some witnesses in the Rittenhouse case. I turned that down because conflicts. And so then during the trial, I noticed some things. I noticed some witnesses in the gallery that weren't supposed to be in there. So I did reach out to the Rittenhouse defense team. They called me right away. And so we were just kind of communicating via text. Like, those guys should not be in the gallery because I forget what it was. I think it was they were saying that they weren't part of a hate group or anything like that, but the people in the gallery were known for being part of that hate group. So
Any names you want to name?
the redhead guy with the long hair, I can't think of his name. Sean
Oh, there we go.
something.
Oh, okay.
You could see him right on the camera in the when you were watching on Court TV, you could see him sitting right in the gallery.
Now, do you know Kevin Mathewson?
Yes.
Okay, I figured because he's also a private investigator in that area.
Yes. We were, I never met him in person, but we were in the same state organization for private investigators together. So I didn't know him before the Rittenhouse stuff happened, but I know him now, and he and I communicate via email. Sometimes if I find out things going on down there, he's asked me about stuff, vice versa. Because you have one group of troublemakers that seems to go to every event, no matter which city it is. It's always the same people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin's been on this show a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look up those past.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of my past live streams, going back early on, he hasn't been on the show for quite a while. He's been busy with stuff. So, but okay.
He's been doing a lot of. I was going to say he's been doing a lot of really good journalism for the Kenosha area, especially about that teacher. That teacher that was, what would you call it? Just inappropriate texts, inappropriate contact. So he was covering that, and it's good, really good journalism he's been doing lately. So yeah, way to go!
Great. I've actually talked with other private investigators, and we wish that we could. I don't have the time for it anymore, and I've kind of removed myself from the Milwaukee courts. I'm not doing as much in Milwaukee as much anymore like I used to be, but we wish we had somebody like Mathewson in Milwaukee that could expose the corruption going on there.
Yeah.
Because there's just as much, probably even more going on in Milwaukee than there is in Kenosha. So if
I should mention, your mom really wants in this show. She's saying, "Let me on. I got a lot of things to say."
She's no.
Yeah. So, by the way, she is in the back room waiting. So, if you want her to watch the show on YouTube, you'll have to send her a different link.
But she probably doesn't know how to do the other link I just sent her.
Well, I mean, she could probably hear it, and she could stay back there and listen to the show as much as she wants, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I
say bring her on.
She sounds like a hoot. You want to put her on?
I don't know. She might be in her pajamas.
I don't think she has a camera on. She doesn't have a camera on. Okay, so let's just go ahead and try this. Hey, Carol, are you there?
Oh, geez.
Okay, she might not have a microphone, or it might be muted. But at any rate, she can always watch the recorded afterwards. So it's not a big deal if she can't watch the show right now.
I just texted her the link to watch it. I told her, people are in the comments, Carol, she just clicked on the wrong link. Believe me, you don't want her on.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and X her out. And the reason is I'm expecting more people, maybe. I don't think they're going to come in. But I have a certain limit as to how many guests I can have. So it's
okay, no problem.
All right. Are we ready to start off with a nice, juicy video that we can comment on?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. And let me... All right. Now, I am expecting my viewership to let me know if they're not catching any audio. It can happen. So if you're in the viewing audience, are you listening to me, Graham? And by the way, Graham is first. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Graham has been following my show for about as long as I've been holding it. And I think that he wakes up in the morning waiting for me to put up a video so he can be the first to respond, because he usually gets to it before I can even transfer the tab over to find out if anybody's watching. So at any rate, yeah, let me know if you can't hear any audio, but let's get her going here.
Prayers. I want to go to Samantha Vinograd, who is here on set with us, former Homeland Security official. Sam, you and I have been talking frequently about the concern about political violence, domestic violent extremism, and outside actors. In these very early hours, what is your analysis of what is happening, and what are you hearing?
Well, my analysis is that the protection mission for the former president failed. The protection mission is typically based on intelligence and based on operational steps to ensure the protectee is safe. The problem is, Margaret, that the intelligence and law enforcement community has been warning for months, if not years, about the threat of what we call lone actors or small groups of individuals, basically individuals who are mobilized and radicalized by themselves, who really present an intelligence challenge to identify, detect, and mitigate.
Okay, my first reaction is, you've been warning everybody that a lone person might just try to kill the president.
Yeah.
That's never happened. I mean, has any of our former presidents or any presidents ever been shot by a lone person?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to raise this threat of a lone gunman? That's always been happening.
Yeah.
So to me, this is kind of an empty statement. But by the way, she's going to piss you guys off here pretty shortly, so stay tuned.
And that may very well be what we saw play out today. A lone actor, perhaps a small group of individuals targeting the president. And in this case, it is clear intelligence did not pick up on that threat.
Well, and the reporting so far is that the threat was neutralized, which would suggest that there isn't necessarily a reason for broader security concerns directly related to this. Is that right?
It is, but as a former operator, I'll say that at the moment what's happening is really two concurrent investigations. One is an investigation into the perpetrator, whether he did act alone, and whether any other individuals could be inspired by his actions to copy what he did. So there's that piece of it. There's an investigation to the security failures that resulted in this incident. And then the biggest threat that officials are telling me tonight is in the form of retaliatory violence.
Oh, here it comes. Get ready.
Wait,
you're taking me.
I'm sorry?
Who is she? She says she's a former operator of what?
No, I think she's former director of Homeland Security. I would have to go back and play it again, but I think she's an official in Homeland Security, former. Yeah, and so far she said a whole lot of nothing, right?
Well, yeah. I was going to say, thank God she's a former.
Hang on. Did I get somebody else coming in? No, I guess not. Okay. Yeah, now they're going to assess the threat and see if there are other people involved. Yeah, okay. But now get ready.
To exactly what I've been underscoring and is frankly very concerning in the rhetoric we are seeing at this hour already. We are seeing some speakers come out with statements directly drawing a line between the shooter, whose name we do not know. We do not know if he's a lone actor or was somebody else, but drawing some connection to the government. We have nothing to base that on at this hour.
At this hour, leading officials within the U.S. government still don't know what transpired. And it is frankly unpatriotic at this moment to be stoking the flames when we know that we are sitting on a cauldron of tensions. We know that tensions were already high before this incident, and the counterterrorism officials and Homeland Security officials that I've spoken to in the last few hours are deeply concerned that this event will be used as a rallying cry to launch attacks against individuals associated with the Biden campaign and lead to broader domestic distress. So
okay.
Unbelievable.
The fact that Trump got shot, well, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
What we're concerned is that they will come back and try to retaliate against the left.
Poor Biden.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're still protecting him.
Trump he's like, oh, I just got shot and I'll be in Milwaukee tomorrow. And Biden is already canceling events. He was supposed to be in Texas, I think. And yeah, maybe it's because he's the president and he should probably be doing something. But what's he canceling events for?
Yeah, because we're the violent mob. You don't know that, right? We're the violent ones.
Yeah, after, let's say, and I'm not a Trump fan, by the way, everybody. I just let you know. I tend to agree with his politics more than I certainly do with Biden. I really can't stand Biden, but I'm not a Trumper. But let's say that he's my guy. He just got shot. I'm not terribly concerned about the backlash against the other side. I'm kind of concerned myself with what's actually happened to the person I'm supporting. But did Biden ever say why he canceled the event? Is it because of the concerns out of security?
I don't know. I just heard he was supposed to be in Texas and they canceled that trip. And that was yesterday. So I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty clear. And I'll say this. It's pretty clear that Biden certainly got the lion's share of the best security and whoever was left over got to guard Trump. Right? I mean, this was, and we'll talk about this a lot, but this was not a particularly good moment for the Secret Service.
Well, Biden needs like 6 Secret Service guys alone just to hold him up so he doesn't fall over. And Trump falls over and he's jumping up and saying, I need my shoes, put my shoes on. So, I mean, they probably need extra help for Biden. If Biden fell over, they wouldn't be able to get him up that quickly.
Biden wouldn't even be able to fall over that quickly.
Yeah, he probably would have broke a hip or something. I mean, there's no way. There's no way.
I mean, I can't imagine pushing him to the ground. If I was a Secret Service person, I would be hesitant to do that.
He would have been standing there with that shocked look. I can just see it already. Biden would have been like deer in the headlights. And Trump was smart enough to get down. He got clipped. Boom. He was down. The Secret Service didn't take him down. He went down. And Biden would still be standing there, probably. Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, what just happened? I know.
What was that?
Are you talking about the man that is sharp as a tack? Oh, come on.
There would have to be a Secret Service agent that would have to take one for the team and literally throw himself down for Biden to fall on. That's how fragile Biden is at this point. Someone's going to have to take that for the team.
So let's see here. We have another. I mean, that one goes on longer, but the main point I want to get across is they're not concerned about Trump being shot. They're concerned that this will instigate violence against them. It's like, it's that crazy. All right, let's try this. See what happens.
Let's bring to the conversation Evie Pomporis. She's a former Secret Service agent. Evie, good morning. I want to put up this map of the farm grounds where this event was held last night. So the elevated position where the shooter was set up was about 150 yards from the stage where former President Trump was speaking. As a former Secret Service agent, are you surprised that building wasn't better secured?
So when you do a security plan, you've got the main security, right? The security perimeter where there's the magnetometers, where people are being checked as they're entering the event. You have the outer perimeter, when you have an open rally like this, you are extremely vulnerable. I've done these. They're probably the most anxious you're ever going to be as an agent because you're trying to secure all of it. Now, the adjacent buildings, you do this in urban environments, you do this in a rural environment like this. When you do a security plan, you literally put yourself on stage and then you look out as if you were the protectee. What can I see? And if I can see it, it can probably see me. Now, for an outer perimeter like that, typically you will have a local law enforcement presence. You'll notice those buildings. And the Secret Service works with local police. You have to think of the Secret Service like they're the conductor of the orchestra. They create the blueprint and design for the security plan. They work with state police. They work with local police. And then they put in resources and assets.
So in the typical scenario, or in the scenario that one wishes would have unfolded, would you have had perhaps a local official secure that roof to make sure the roof is clear, make sure nobody's in the building, and then stand guard there so no one comes in after that clearing?
In other words, would you show any lick of common sense? Right? I mean, you have a building that's within shooting distance of a podium containing Donald Trump. Do you think it would be a good idea to make sure that nobody gets on the top of that building and shoots at him?
Well, okay.
Johnny, hold on.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. I was watching the Today Show. Are you going to play more of this one video right here?
Maybe a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. When you're done playing this one, I want to say something about this.
Okay. How about you, Lisa?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say right before we got on here, there was a very interesting witness statement on Laura Ingraham.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah. And this story, nobody's talked about it yet. And they had footage. The guy had footage to back up his story. And
I have the video.
Yeah, we thought that the guy had been up on the roof, but now this guy's saying they saw him crawling up there and crawling down the or crawling down the roof, you know, like how they go on their stomach like that. And that's when they were alerting officers, and they feel like possibly from them alerting somebody, that cop climbed up the building, and that guy, maybe the officer saw him with the weapon up there, or maybe he turned his weapon at the officer, but the officer got up and fell off the side of the building. So they think maybe all the people saying, hey, there's somebody up there, really did help and really did matter, because they think he could have fired off way more shots.
Yep.
Okay, that's an interesting take I hadn't heard yet. But yeah, we do have the video footage. You're talking about the red-haired dude?
No, there's a new guy.
No.
There's a new guy, and he was standing there with his wife and filming it. He said when stuff started getting weird, he went back in the woods and he started filming it. So.
Oh, so that was the person that I've seen the footage. I didn't know who did it, but yeah, I understand.
I know who you're talking. The guy with like the visor, and I think maybe he had like the fake hair. I don't know if that was fake hair, but that was saying,
I have
a different to warn people. I think
I have a different take. There was a different lady that was on this very morning show, the Today Show, this morning at like 6:30 or 7 a.m. And she was actually in the stands with the fire chief that got shot. She was sitting right in that same area. And she was saying how, if you can see me, Trump was here facing that way. So the bullet came like this, but they were sitting over here. And that man got shot. So I think he got shot from the front, but it's like, how could it go like this is what she's saying. And then she said that they were told there's somebody crawling up the bleachers. There's somebody crawling up the bleachers. That's what that lady said this morning. She was sitting in that area. They had her on. That's what I wanted to talk about. I haven't heard any other comments about it. Nowhere.
Okay, so if you have any links that you want me to play on the show, we have the private chat thing that you can stick them in there and I can play it up. Or you could post it on Twitter, but you'd have to tell me that you did it so I can go hunt for it. But
right.
Some of the stuff came out recently. I haven't seen it yet. By the way, we have a comment here from Brittany. Secret Service was limited and request for Trump and RFK to have more security was denied. Interesting. And I do have an actual, article here about how one congressman was trying to keep Trump from having any security.
Yep.
Right. Okay, let's continue on with this.
So we don't know if they did or did not do this.
Yes, but they should have.
I would presume you should have a local police presence in that area. Now, could you have put somebody on that rooftop? You could have. The other element is the counter sniper team. So,
well, I mean, if that dude can get up on the roof with a rifle, why can't one of your Secret Service dudes?
Yeah, right.
As far as we know, we see a two-man team from the Secret Service side. As we were discussing prior before we started speaking, they are looking at everything. They have to cover 360 degrees. So I know a lot of folks are like, how could they not see this? I think one of the issues is if it is a two-man team, think about what they are consistently covering. So local law enforcement, definitely. But again, we don't know if somebody was or wasn't positioned. Now, if there was no.
Okay, I've had enough for her because she's not really providing much information to us. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and see what else we got here. Any comments before I hit the next one?
It's just amazing. Some of these people that they bring on, they just give you a word salad of bullshit. They just talk and talk and nothing makes any sense. There's just nothing that comes out of what.
Well, I think there's another reason why they wanted her to be on the show.
Well, she's pretty.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Okay. And so let's see here. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. And by the way, in the actual comment section of the video, the links will be there. So if you want to read this on your own, you can. I'm talking to the people outside there. Benny Thompson, who moved to strip Trump's security, faces backlash. Okay, and I got your private chat. Good. All right. Oh, and here's that guy. We'll play that here in a moment. Okay, so this dude is facing criticism because he wanted to take away Trump's security because he was a convicted felon. And I'll read this. In mid-April, Mississippi congressman and ranking member of the House Committee on Homeland Security, Benny Thompson, introduced legislation designed to strip convicted felons sentenced to prison of Secret Service protection. It was co-sponsored by several other Democrat lawmakers. The bill would affect anyone who was handed a sentence for a felony and would otherwise receive protection from the Secret Service. So this raises a question. So if a person is convicted of a felony, we no longer protect them? I mean, if the whole purpose of having the Secret Service is this person's whatever role he's in makes him very, let's say, makes him a very viable target for violence. And Benny's saying, well, if you get convicted of a felony, it's okay to go ahead and have violence inflicted on the person, right? When we convict felons and we send them to prison, we still protect them. I mean, we do our best. Obviously, it's not always very good, but we do our best to protect them from harm from other prisoners. It's not like they forego their life to life and their right to life and liberty just because they've been convicted of a crime. Go ahead. Any ideas? Any comments on this?
No.
I mean, here he says nobody should have special treatment, and that includes the former president. So Biden shouldn't have like special protection?
I've seen some people think that Trump should pay for his own just because he has so much money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a ludicrous. I mean, look, if you want to codify that into law and make it apply to everyone, then Biden is paying for his own too.
At this point, I feel like Trump should pay for his own because I don't know how he could trust anybody. This was such a slip of the Secret Service. I don't know. If that was me, there's no way I wouldn't trust anybody at all.
You go ahead and hang on 1 second. I have to pull this over there. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Grambo, do you remember The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
What was this?
The whole thing keeps giving me The Bodyguard. I'm like, she wasn't the president, but she had this protection, and you had one crooked guy in the whole batch that wanted to kill her.
Yep.
How is that unlikely in the real world? I mean,
right. And it's the same FBI. It's the same FBI that was doing the old Russia hoax.
Which case are you talking about there? I'm not familiar with it.
It's not a case. We're talking about a show.
Oh, okay.
The Russian
Sorry.
hoax or The Bodyguard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with it. Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about the movie The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston.
It's like an old movie, and she has protection because somebody keeps sending her threatening letters, and it turns out that there's one guy that's crooked in the protection, and I just believe that there's probably that happening in Secret Service. Yeah. There's somebody crooked in every operation, pretty much. There's always one bad seed.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is play a video here that has caused a lot of commentary. I'm not going to comment on it. I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys decide how you feel about it. But here it goes.
Comments about the woman. What the hell are they doing?
All right. What impression do you get from it?
Clusterfuck. Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
fine. I don't mind
I get
profanity
it.
as long as you just don't have tons of it.
Yeah, no, I get it that it was one of those moments, but they're trained for this. They're trained, and look at how unorganized and just running around they're doing. It's ridiculous. I was watching that, and I even heard the comments about people making the comments about the women, and they're absolutely right. Yeah, and why were there so many females? And I was thinking about that on the last two videos you showed. It was two female former agents. What the hell?
They all looked really small to me too. Like,
Yeah,
you would think they'd want to be not heavy set, but bulkier, like built,
like
especially the one with the
Ukrainian or
bun.
Russian women.
The one with the bun, she looks so tiny to me. Like, you could just see her frame. And I mean, and she's wearing a padded blazer. So, I mean, she's probably so small.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't take much to grab a weapon and shoot somebody, but that's not the whole part of the job either.
Yeah, the one on the left there couldn't get her gun holstered. She really
yeah, I
struggled
saw
with it.
that.
Now you may be asking what's the percentage? The goal is 30% by 2030. They want 30% of the let's say Secret Service to be women. And
Really?
yeah, I just did a video, just published a video on it. This is actually a policy. It's called 30 by 30. So they want 30%,
Lord.
and this is across all agencies, not just Secret Service, but all across all agencies. They want 30% of them to be female. And my response is, I think that should be changed according to the agency. And some agencies, I think that the ratio should be changed because, quite frankly, um, I thought that these agencies were supposed to be doing really important things, critical things. And when you tell me that 30% have to be from a certain population, I don't care what it is, you're telling me that that's not the case, that it's not that serious. Because if you could play around with the percentages like that,
Yeah,
and you're not choosing the very best, that's an issue. And this is the Secret Service.
yeah. Here's your DEI.
I was just going to say, it's all the DEI bull crap.
Yep.
I mean, it's certainly a part of it. I just published a video about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, where I did an in-depth dive into the DEI thing when it comes to the Secret Service. And one of it is I compared it to the Black Watch, they're Scottish Highlanders that protect the royal family in England. And you could see them marching, and it's all men. There's not a single female, and there must be 200 of them marching because the Black Watch is going to be protecting the royal family. The UK doesn't screw around with this stuff. They want
Yeah.
the absolute best. Now, I will say this. If a female comes in and can do the job as well, go ahead and bring her in. I don't have any issue with that. But when you start promoting people to these kind of roles because of their gender or whatever, I find it really problematic. It's dangerous as hell. To me, these ladies here are trying to look busy. You ever seen
Yeah.
that? Like they really don't know what to do, and they're just trying to look busy. That's the
You know,
impression I get.
one point on that, Johnny, is I heard that there was a different group of the Secret Service that was allowed there because Jill Biden was having an event. So because she's the president's wife, she comes first. So she got the better of the group. So this is probably, well, here, we'll throw these ladies in. I mean, they don't even look like they're trained for this type of incident.
Part of it is I think to myself, I'm kind of older, but if I was younger, could I kick their ass? And I have the feeling, yeah, I could. Some of the Secret Service dudes, though, no, I wouldn't mess with them.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I'd mess with the women either, but you never know what their skills are when you attack them. It's just, I don't think in this incident they were prepared. Like I said, you look at the guys here, the guys look like they've been through this, they're calm, they've been trained, they trained for this type of incident. The women looked like they were never trained. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where they were going. They just knew they had to block something. I got to block something. That's how it looked.
Yeah, and that's not physically imposing. I mean, you want somebody when they're guarding to have that imagery of you don't want to mess with this dude. Like, for example, Sean O'Grady is an Oklahoman who was a famous boxer, but he was like a featherweight, right? He couldn't be a bouncer, even though he can knock you out. But you want somebody who's going to stop the violence through his just physical imposing.
Yeah.
And these ladies here don't have it. The one on the left especially would not bother me a bit if I was really going after the president.
She sort of looks like she's going to a rock concert or something.
Yeah.
Let's watch it one more time because it's really short. Maybe you'll come across some things that are rather interesting.
She just got bumped there too. It was all over. Gun in.
She can't get her gun in her holster. She goes, "Ah, screw it." Who needs to holster my gun there? I'll hold it in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she got it in. Yay! She got her gun holstered. Excellent.
No, the one in the middle is just like lost.
Again, she has that look of, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to look like I'm doing something. So I'll just kind of look around, and that's the impression I get. That's an impression. I'm not a Secret Service agent. Don't know. But this does not really look confidence inspiring to me.
Mm-mm.
And you might be right in that these might be the residue of the
fallouts, the leftovers.
The leftovers from all the good ones that get picked for the other roles. But remember the 30 by 30. They're wanting 30%.
Yeah.
Now, right now, it's probably like 10% or 12%, but there seem to be a large number of females there. So you might be right. This might be just those who didn't get picked for the other assignments. Let's see what we got here in the chat. I have to kind of remind myself to go into the chat here. Okay.
The dude.
Hey, kitty cat. Saying hi to kitty cat.
What?
Kenosha cat. Kenosha cat.
Oh, yeah. I know who that is. Well,
Yes,
we're
you
not
do.
going to say who it is, though, are we?
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
I'll tell you later,
Fox
Lisa.
kept cutting that guy off flipping the bird. Like they would cut that video right there when he comes up and flips that guy down on the right.
Oh, wait. Somebody flipped a bird?
The guy with the hat right in the front of the clip. You can see it.
Wait a minute. We got to play that again.
There's a woman below him flipping the bird too.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed it. Go back a little bit.
Ah, there it is. Well, John Huber and him should get together. Right? In case you don't know, John Huber was the father of Anthony Huber in the Kyle Rittenhouse dealio who flipped off the judge.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Kenosha Cat's saying we can say who she is.
Oh, okay. We can say
Is
it.
that
Well, I'll tell you
true?
what.
Is that true, Cat?
Well, it must be true if she said it.
Well, I said I think she's saying because she says you can.
Oh, I
She
think
said Dom is married. You know Dom's
got
married
married?
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
Dominic got
so
married.
cool. I didn't think it was going to be this soon.
Yeah, at least you know who Dominic Black is, right?
Oh.
Yeah, the guy
okay.
in the Rittenhouse, his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle's friend.
Kenosha Cat is Dominic's mother.
Oh, okay.
So
I've been in contact with Dominic a lot over the last couple of years. I've, stayed in contact with him and I know quite a bit that I really cannot share. But at any rate, it's great that she finally, because I've been always wanting her to come on the show or at least, have herself recognized. But this is the first time that we could come out and say it. So Dominic Black's mom is in the chat.
We just popped her cherry tonight.
Not going there.
Yeah,
much more of this I might, but no.
Me and Katrina have become good friends too. She rides motorcycle. We've gotten together on the bikes, gone for rides. I've gone down by her. So it's been great knowing her, and we're good friends.
You went boating with her too.
Yes,
That's right.
I went on their pontoon and got a little flippy.
Let's see here. I am. Unfortunately, things have gotten complicated. However, the first chance I get, I will be up in Wisconsin because I got to play your husband in pool. He's had plenty of time to practice on his New Brunswick, so he should be able to beat me.
Where do
So,
you live,
anyway,
Johnny?
I live in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Yep, I'm
so
an
how
Okie.
did you get interested in Rittenhouse in Kenosha?
I'm glad you asked because that's something I like to talk about. But I initially started my show to talk about sovereign citizens. I had gotten a really interested. This is before the sovereign citizen thing blew up, right? And so I had these. I put out a few of these, videos about sovereign citizens and stuff, and the myth of police brutality against peoples of color. That was my two main things. And then Kyle went and shot up the town. I don't think he likes me to phrase it like that, but he went and shot up the town. And the first time I heard about it was I thought that he had just shown up at the protest. It was mowing people down. And I'm a real coward when it comes to bad news. And so I stayed away from it. Kyle Rittenhouse this, and I'm like, oh, God, no, I don't want to talk about that. I really despised him. And then it was on Rick Gore's channel called Good Luck America. And by the way, you would love that channel, Grambo. You would love it. I sent you a link to one of his shows.
To whose show? I'm sorry. Somebody was texting me.
Good Luck America. It's Rick Gore. He's a big Trump fan, and he's a former police officer, 35 years in California. And he actually showed the footage. And I'm thinking, wait, that looks like self-defense, right? So I realized at that point, man, had I been misled. But I didn't get into it until I saw Kyle crying with his mom in the police station. And I thought to myself, this is just horrible what's happening to this kid. I'm going to take a deep interest in it. So I dived deep. I have over 400 videos published on the Kenosha shootings. And I've had like 3 witnesses at the trial on my show. Kevin Mathewson's been on my show. And I probably have like
Photo
2,000
Chad.
hours invested. What was that?
Photo Chad.
Yeah.
Nate DeBruin.
Nathan DeBruin has been on my show a number of times.
It's funny, Lisa. My neighbor who was down at the Kenosha thing with me, I went with him. He's like, "Oh my God," he goes, "You got to read this, so you got to hear this." So we're listening to this podcast, and it was by Johnnie Walker Dread from Las Vegas. And I'm like, what the hell does this dude in Las Vegas want with any of this Kenosha shit? I'm like, who the hell is this idiot? Good, and he's mentioning my neighbor's name. He's mentioning me, and I'm like, who the hell is this moron? What is he doing in Vegas? What does he care about us? And then here I get to meet him on a podcast, and I'm like, oh my God. It's just funny how things go full circle like that.
It does. It is kind of weird how it goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I learned today you were carrying a 45. I don't even remember that. That's
No, I
badass.
wasn't. I was going to correct you. I wasn't carrying a 45. I was carrying a 38.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought, because I have a 38. And I was like, she's carrying what I have. That's what I remembered. And I was like, a 45? Wow.
Yeah. No, I did have a 45 mag, and then I had a 40 caliber, but I sold the 40 caliber, and now I got 2 38s.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so you've diminished your legacy in my mind a little bit from going from a 45 to just a 38. I mean,
wow.
Still packs a punch.
You would have been really proud of my 40 mag, the Clint Eastwood gun with the big long barrel.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a
would've
nice gun.
Okay, let's see here what we got. Um, okay, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of funny. It says, this is on Twitter. Every school shooting deserves this kind of
Oh,
unified anger
yeah.
and condemnation. What do you mean unified anger and condemnation? Um, has the left been unified in their anger and condemnation against the shooter?
Yeah. No. No.
How many of them have been saying, "Oh, I just wished he hadn't hit him"? What do you mean he missed? In fact, I will say that I've never seen so many people wishing that somebody had been killed on Twitter. I don't think I've ever seen this.
But the majority of them that I've been seeing are these young kids. That one girl looked like she was 15 years old. What the hell are you talking about, kid?
Well, they have
I'm
no
sort of over the
perspective.
comments. These people are so stupid, and there's no like, it doesn't even pay to argue with them in the news feeds because
Right.
A, we're going to go to Facebook jail, and B, they're still going to be stupid. So why even waste the time?
Right.
they're
Oh,
just-
yeah. I don't argue with them.
They're so low IQ, and it's just like a generation of low IQ people.
You know what's sad about that, Lisa? Think about it. So that generation grew up in social media. That's all they know. They don't even have social lives. I mean, you look at some of them, even their vacation pictures are pretty much solo photos. So
Yeah.
those are the ones that are going to be running our country soon.
And look, I mean,
That's
I'm not.
pathetic.
That's
That's
why they
scary.
need. That's why they need DEI hiring, because people just aren't as smart as they used to be because they're not applying themselves in school. They're using the computer to do their homework, and
Yep.
it's just not like the old days. You know, we didn't have all that. It was
Right.
you learned it. You studied from a book.
What is that about?
Richie-
Richie M's post on
It's
X.
probably Richie McGinnis. He is one of the big.
Yeah, I want to make a comment while there's a little lull here. So in the beginning, after Trump ducked, did you notice that dude? There's one thing me and my mom noticed when we were watching this last night. That dude standing up with the big black hat on. He never flinched, never ducked, never moved. He stood there and his eyes stayed on Trump.
Well, I was just telling one of my friends that's watching. Hi, Laura. Watching the interviews and the videos of the people, you can tell who you'd want to go to war with. There's some
Yeah.
people that are just like they don't know what to do. They're lost in space. And like that one interview I think I posted, you probably saw it, Anne, where the woman was like, "We never ducked. We stood up. We were ready to jump on the
Yeah.
stage and help Donald Trump." And she was an older woman.
Yeah.
And I saw a woman interviewed today. The doctor that worked on the man that was shot in the head.
Yeah.
His wife was sitting by herself away from him. And she said, "We were ready to jump on stage and punch somebody if we had to." Like, there's definitely part of the population that is ready to go. And the other
Yeah.
half is like useless. My friend
Now,
said they need to bring back the draft because
Oh, yeah.
you got to toughen
Yeah.
these people up in some way, shape, or form. And
Totally agree.
you
So-
can't do it in school. You can't do it at
No.
work. You can't do it if you're dating them. They're already losers usually. But you know what I'm saying? There's no way to toughen them up really other than to send them off.
Yeah. So think about that. If this would have been happened to Biden, what do you think all the supporters would have done? They would have scattered. There wouldn't have been no one willing to jump up on stage to save Biden.
Oh, and everybody was chanting, USA, USA.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know what exactly happened either, but most people did. And a lot of them were ready to.
Oh, yeah. They
Go
were
to
ready to
war.
stand
And
up. Yeah.
I'm telling you, after all of that, it wouldn't scare me out of going to a rally. I've been to a rally. You're in there like sardines, like you're packed in there tight.
Yeah.
And I would go. It would not scare me at all. In fact, it almost gives me drive to want to go if he has
Right?
them. I think he's done with them. I heard that somewhere, but maybe not.
I don't know. He was oh, Johnny say he lost connection. Hey, all right, we're running Johnny's show.
Yeah.
All right.
But not related to the shooting. I thought because of the RNC and all of that maybe he was done rallying for a while, but I don't know. But now I feel like I would want to go to a rally because Trump's behavior yesterday it really got me thinking, like when you're having a bad day and you have no energy and motivation, which I have a lot of those, to think that you're in your late 70s, you get shot at, you fall down and you're like, where's my shoes? I mean, let me put my shoes on. I'd just be like, all right, well, let's get out of here. I probably wouldn't care about my shoes. And I used to have some really good shoes before I had ankle surgery. But his performance and just his strength is, I don't know.
Yeah, we cheered when he stopped and said, hold on. And he threw his fist out and he said, fight, fight, fight. Yeah, we were just screaming. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. He just gets up after being shot and yells that out to the crowd.
And you have to wonder, did he know he was shot? Did he think somebody, at first I thought maybe somebody shot a bottle up there because, the media was suppressing it. They were saying, don't call it an assassination attempt. Don't talk about a shooting. That's what was blasted out to the media people because some of my friends are texting me. He wasn't shot. And I'm a person that when something happens, I'm on there looking for the truth. Like,
right.
I'm digging through the BS on the Twitter and all that. And he was shot. But did Trump know he was shot is the question. I mean, he must have assumed, but that photo that they have where the bullet is like right here.
Yep. That's amazing. Kat, can you post that link with Richie M's post on X? Can you put it in the chat here and see if I can play it? Not the host. I've never done play a video, but we'll see what we can do. I don't think I can do it, but
what is it, Richie M?
Yeah. It choked us all up, Kat. Oops,
is he Richie McGinnis?
Yeah.
Two days after Kenosha shootings, Biden alleged Rittenhouse was part of a militia. That implied he had white supremacist affiliations, connecting the violence to Trump. Biden, after the crooks attempt to assassinate Trump, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can play anything on our end.
I'm trying to remember who Richie McGinnis was. He was something to do with Kenosha, wasn't he?
Yeah, Kat, it's on my phone, but I'm on my laptop. Oh, Johnny should be back in like 2 minutes. Oh, yes, he's saying don't make assumptions about the shooter's motives or his affiliations. So, right, he was quick to judge Kyle, but now he's telling us to be patient before we judge the shooter against Trump.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It's always like that with them.
Oh, yeah. Old piece of poo. Journalist. Oh yeah, he's the journalist McGinnis. Richie. Yeah, it sounds familiar to me too. He was there at the Kenosha riots. Wasn't he
Richie
doing
was?
yeah, wasn't he doing videos at the Kenosha riots? Or am I thinking of yeah, that was him. Cuz he took the stand too, didn't he?
I mean, I remember the name, but I just can't. It's not coming to me how he played into that. Nate
Yeah.
was the photographer, right? Nate DeBruin
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yep, Nate DeBruin, yep. Yeah, Richie McGinnis actually he didn't Richie flip flop. And didn't Richie flip flop? Yeah, he did. You're right. Um, Richie McGinnis was the one who testified that Rosenbaum reached for Kyle's gun.
Okay.
So he's the one that testified that he was on just before me. So I watched his testimony, I think the night before, and then I was on the next day. Am I right on that, Cat? And it's a delayed response. Was in the parking lot. Only witness. Yep. Thank you, Jason. Well, we're going to have to start charging Johnny here. We want royalties.
My animals are walking around. They're like, who's she talking to? Because she's always usually talking to us. They're going
Yeah.
back and forth like this. One's going one way and one's going the other. They're all confused what's happening here.
That's all right. So you got, you got your dog, Bunny.
The bun.
So what is this? TMZ status. Oh.
That was the link. I was trying to get that link that Laura Ingraham had on where he was the guy was saying how he witnessed the shooter climbing up and then climbing across the roof. And then the police officer climbing up and then falling down. People can look that up. They can probably go on Laura Ingram's show. But I'm trying to. The link.
Go ahead.
Said TMZ. It was a TMZ video and a link, but I don't remember who the witness was. But I'm sure Laura has it on her Twitter or whatever they all do. I don't know.
Oh, Laura Ingraham?
Yes.
I like watching her.
Well, I was surprised she was on tonight, but I guess it's because of the RNC. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe not. Here he is. He's back.
Oh my gosh. I absolutely just lost my total Wi-Fi. I have never had it happen before. And so I plugged in my Ethernet. So I'm running off Ethernet. So it should be good now.
Oh, okay.
I hope you're able to entertain my audience while I'm gone. What's that?
She said you look like the Secret Service with your glasses on. He always wears those glasses because he's incognito.
That's right.
Oh.
Absolutely. I'm not in a position. Well, at this point, I really don't care that much. But when I first started, I was running with clients, engineering clients, and I just didn't want them knowing about my show because you don't know how they're going to react. Oh, even though I'm in Oklahoma. But at this point, I really don't care. But at this point also, I've been doing this for so long, I just kind of left it this way. So I really don't care that much if people know who I am. But
so Johnny, yeah. Lisa sent you a link of the video from TMZ, and that was the video of the guys recording the shooter going up the ladder.
Okay, and I think I got that, and I posted it over here. I just got to find out which one of these it is on the actual. Give me 1 second. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to go back to the private chat and reload it. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on. It's loading.
Graham, good question.
What?
Susan.
I don't know. In case Susan censored my comment, who's Susan? How do you know the weapon didn't fire itself like Daryl Brooks's SUV?
I've been covering Daryl Brooks a lot too.
Oh
I've
God,
been
that guy's a
binge
beast.
watching that show. I mean, I put it on at night when I'm going to sleep, and I can listen to Daryl doing this thing, and it puts me to sleep. It's great.
Well, Court
Really?
TV has it on now during the day, I believe. They're re-airing.
Daryl Brooks? Was he in a new hearing or something?
No, they just air old
Repeat.
trials.
Oh, geez.
Like sometimes Casey Anthony or one of those old trials. OJ was on for a while.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wild.
I mean, the reason why it works with me going to sleep is because I've listened to them so many times. I know what he's going to say, so there's no like shocking things that keep me awake. It just kind of purrs me to sleep. But yeah, when he does that jurisdiction thing, man, that's gold.
When you brought up sovereign citizen, I figured you might like Derail or whatever he wanted himself to be called. Wasn't he trying to call himself a sovereign citizen?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he was pretty clear about that. And one of the shows that I'm going to be working with, I think, with KTZ is in the future, we're going to do a comparison of the sovereign citizen judges and how they handle these guys. And a lot of people don't realize these sovereign citizens go back a ways. And there's especially a judge named Edward Burke out of New Hampshire that hammered them really bad back in the day. And it's going to be fun watching him. I mean, one guy put his cap on, refused to take it off, and he got 30 days for that. So Burke didn't mess
Wow.
around.
Wow.
By the way,
Okay.
if you're in Oklahoma, you probably didn't hear that. You know the judge from Daryl Brooks' trial, Judge Doro?
Mm-hmm.
Her husband has a security company, and they're the ones that got the contract for the RNC.
Oh, really? Okay.
So,
yeah, I knew that he was pretty well connected in. I mean, I kind of know a little bit about her. In my opinion, she did a pretty good job for the most part, but I had some real issues with some of the things she did, but whatever, you know. And I have a video of that on that already. Okay, so let me go ahead before we play this. Let me go ahead and pop through these. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not sure which they're talking about some case there, and I'm not in on the loop.
They're talking about the video that you're getting ready to show.
Oh, okay. So let's just go ahead and watch it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do the share. And away we go. I got to turn on the sound.
You see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Instead, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here.
Wow.
We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than
Gee, if only they were allowed to have guns, right? They could have
Yeah,
done
right.
something about it. But, you know, Secret Service, and I'm tired of this, by the way. They're always saying, well, the NRA doesn't even allow guns at its conventions and stuff like that. And the Secret Service, you know, Trump doesn't even allow guns. It's not up to them. The Secret Service is the one that decides whether people can be armed. And of course, they're going to say, no, nobody can do anything about this. Okay.
You went right on the roof with that.
so now I'm wondering if there was a ladder there because he had to have gotten up there somehow. And then how did the cop get up there? That they said fell down.
Well, one thing is there had to have been some way for him to get up there, but I don't think anybody's going to go up there after him. I mean, he's
The
got a
witness said
rifle.
a cop did because they kept saying, "Oh, he's up on the roof." So a local cop, went up there and got up to the roof, and then that's why I said maybe he pointed his weapon at the officer, but the officer got up there and then fell off the roof. Is what the witness statement was just before we got on this live stream. So
That's
they didn't
crazy.
know if the shooter shot at the officer or what, but something. But so now that brings another question: is who didn't see a guy walking through a group of people with a ladder and a rifle?
And a rifle.
Just speculation that he brought a ladder. How else?
Well, he might have been, but he might have been hiding in that on those farms there because it's some kind of farm. He might have been hiding there all damn day. Who knows?
I mean, what's this? You can see that door there. What's the standard size of a door? Like 7 or 8 feet tall? So
no, maybe isn't it 6.5 feet?
I'm sorry?
Maybe 7?
I'm gonna go measure my doorway now. Yeah, it could be 7.
So if that door is like 7 feet tall, and then I don't know that part on the side is much tall, like almost double that. I mean, that guy would have to be good at climbing to get up without a ladder.
Yeah, he's not getting up that with of what I see in front of me. He's not getting up that without a ladder, unless he can shinny up a drain pipe or something. But I'm really astonished that this 20-year-old kid could have pulled this off and gotten that close.
I know.
Mean, it's just a kid. He couldn't have been real savvy in planning or anything like that.
Well, there were also witness statements that he was on the rifle team at school. And somebody said that he was kicked off the rifle team because he was terrible, like a terrible shooter. So whether or not that's true, but I believe the AP reported that. So, take it with a grain of salt.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know.
So he had some sort of experience with weapons, and why his dad bought him that weapon, or why the dad bought the weapon. Maybe they were gun people. I don't know, but he had some sort of experience with.
Well, didn't both his parents work for the government?
That I had not heard. I don't know.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of misinformation swirling around for a while. I think we know now who it was. And by the way, they say, well, he's a Republican. He's a member of the NRA. The NRA doesn't publish its list. I know, I'm on it. But the thing is that if I'm going to, and I have no way of knowing if this happened, but if I'm going to take out a political opponent, I think I'm going to do a lot of things to make it look like I'm a member of that party. And claiming I'm an NRA member would have been perfect. What's that?
Johnny, he's 20 years old. He never voted in a presidential election. He was only able to vote in his local elections. So how can they even say he was a Republican? Maybe he just happened to like who was running for mayor and happened to be a Republican. And right away they deem him a Republican because he voted for someone he liked one time that he was able to vote.
Well, yeah, they're going to label him Republican at all costs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, they said he had a clean background because he did work at some kind of like a rehab facility or something, or a retirement community as a dietary aide. So they did do a background check on him, I believe, to get that job. And, but
they're supposed to doesn't mean they did.
What was that?
I said they're supposed to do a background check, but doesn't mean they did nowadays.
Well, my other question is the van. Like the van that they found with the explosives. I mean, was this kid just sitting at home making explosives? Did he live with his parents? I assume so. I don't know. I didn't check the address. But so many unanswered questions that I would like the answers to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kat just sent me a text that says, according to sources, the local police were flagged down by attendees at Trump rally.
Yep.
Spotting the shooter. Okay.
Yep.
The police reportedly climbed the roof to engage the shooter, but retreated as the shooter held him at gunpoint. Okay, so the shooter turned the gun on the police and they said, "Oh, hell no," which I probably would have done too. There's also a photo of a ladder to the roof.
Oh.
So thanks, Kat, but it looks like there was an actual ladder. Well, he had to get up there somehow. So he brought a ladder with him. So he did some planning here, but I would have always thought that if you're going to get past the Secret Service, you're going to be a commando, right? You're going to have to have a lot of training in this stuff, because that Secret Service, man, they are really good. But some 20-year-old kid just managed to get on a roof and take a shot and almost killed the former president of the United States and the person running for office. Where's the noise? Where's that coming from?
That's from me. I was going to ask. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't.
Like,
No,
who's
I was
screaming?
Is this video? When was this video released, Kat? She said, "Did you see the video of him screaming he hates Republicans?"
That was not him. That was not him. There's another guy with that same name. He was on last night saying, "I hate Republicans, I hate Trump, but you have the wrong guy." It was not him.
No, this is a different video.
Okay.
This is this kid. Okay, you have to send that link to Johnny. Actually, I guess I can.
If you could post the link in the actual comments, then I can just click.
I can't because it's on my phone.
Oh, that's okay. I was talking to Kat.
Oh, sorry.
If she has a link, if she can post it, she might be on her phone too, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that's been happening over the last just a few hours.
Yeah, she just texted to you, Johnny.
Oh, okay. Well, that creates a problem because that means it's in my system, and I'm going to have to find a way to.
Somebody released a video too that he was featured in a commercial for some outfit that Biden was
for BlackRock.
Yes,
for BlackRock at his school. Yeah.
Okay. I've got it on my phone, but this is going to take a bit of work to get it over to the show. So I think I'm going to have to pass on it. But okay, cool. So in summary, we do have a video of this dude saying something about Republicans.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to shoot.
Frankly, I'm not certain it really matters. To me, it was the response that really kind of shook me up a bit.
What response?
I mean, just from the people about, the news. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this thing back up. And I've got more things to show. Yeah, okay, so hang on. I have to reload these pages because I had to actually log out of my computer and log back in to get this thing going. Okay, here we go. So I thought this was a little bit humorous. All right, so here's CNN's take. Video captures what happened at Trump rally, left him injured. The rally left him injured.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, well, I still don't think that they have had the courage yet to say that he got shot.
Well, they weren't allowed to say it for a while. They didn't want that verbiage used. They meaning the media people.
Trump speech interrupted by Secret Service. Now I get this early on, but wait a few seconds to find out what took place. Come on.
I can't even put the link on there, damn it. Who is the one? There was one that posted, the security has to stop the Trump rally because Trump fell.
Oh yeah, I'm going to show you that one here in a minute.
Yeah.
Here it says, in pictures, Trump injured in shooting. It's okay to say that he got shot.
Yeah.
Injured in a shooting, unless it hit a piece of brick and the brick came off and hit him. No, when you're injured in a shooting, that's typically means that you got shot. they just don't want to say that because
Yeah.
that makes Trump look like a victim, right?
Graham,
Yeah.
you need to write in code. Sorry, I was shooting a message out to Graham there.
Secret Service
Yeah.
rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally.
CNN.
Yeah.
I had to see if there's one more here. I thought that was
It's really
funny.
embarrassing journalism.
It is.
No
It's
kidding.
terrible.
My neighbor said she wanted to get the newspaper today, you know, the Sunday paper, to see what they put, and there was nothing in there. Now, granted, you know, it's not like the old days where they stayed up all night and put the breaking stories in the newspaper. But
Yeah, you won't see that till Monday's
yeah,
paper.
nothing in the paper, in the urinal. We call it the urinal for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. But maybe, I know the New York Post probably had it, but it's just everything is just junk. I swear.
I will
My
say,
God.
and I was covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel was terrible.
Yes.
They were
Why
the
we call it the
worst.
urinal.
Yeah.
I mean, they even did a interview of students where Kyle attended school. And of course, the students are not named. And they're all saying, yeah, we knew he was going to be a serial killer, you know? And
Yeah.
this is yellow journalism. This is junk. You haven't checked the veracity of these stories? Did these kids even know Kyle? Because if there's one thing I know, if you go to a high school and you interview high school students, they're probably not going to be real truthful. I mean, they're kids.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why when they interviewed some kids from the neighborhood where this shooter lived, I've done probably hundreds of interviews doing criminal defense work, and I just have a really good radar if somebody's telling the truth or not. And when I saw those kids being interviewed about the shooter, they were like, "Oh, he was bullied, and people didn't seem to like him," or however they worded it. And it just seemed like they were kind of saying what they thought you wanted to hear. So I just sort of took that with a grain of salt. I was like, I don't know if I believe these kids or not.
Well, I mean, what kid doesn't want to get on national news?
Exactly.
So you're going to want to say something.
Right.
And what do you think that the media person, especially these little hot girls that come up, oh, hi, what do you think? They're going to say things that they think that reporter wants to hear.
Right.
And obviously, oh, yeah, I knew he was a bad apple, man, or he was bullied. They want to create some sort of narrative. And this has gotten to the point where it's cost people jobs. For example, and I've mentioned this many times, but the Darren Wilson, the officer in the Ferguson Police Department with the Michael Brown deal. I don't know if you're familiar with the Michael Brown shooting, but that was the hands up, don't shoot incident. Michael Brown was shot by a police officer as he was walking down a street with his friend. Now, Michael Brown attacked the police officer. There's no doubt about it. But his friend ran off and then came back when the media showed up. And instead of going to the police and telling them what happened, the media got a hold of him and asked him, and he said, man, Michael Brown, he had his hands up and he said, don't shoot. And the others heard that. And so they all started corroborating that story. Grand jury report comes in, we find out they lied. And they admitted they lied. And the reason why they said that they lied was they wanted to be a part of something.
Yep.
They wanted to help convict that white officer. And these kids want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of the story. And so making up something about the shooter is how they're going to do it. So I don't trust them at all. Okay, let's see what we got here. Can we talk about the documentary coming out Tuesday? And what's the noise?
What the heck?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Grambo, something fell.
Is she okay?
I'm here. Sorry. It's getting dark in here.
Okay. Yeah, you must have stumbled over something, right?
No, I didn't. No, I walked outside because the sirens are going like freaking crazy here.
Now, I've heard, okay, this is Kat saying, can we talk about the documentary coming out Tuesday? Now, that is your deal, isn't it, Ann?
Yeah.
Tell us about this, because I've been wanting to talk to you about this.
Okay, so the BBC had gotten a hold of me last year, probably almost 2 years ago. And I was talking to, I don't know, one of their bigwigs at the BBC. And they wanted to do interviews. And I talked to them for a while, and I was real hesitant because I wasn't really talking to a lot of people. What is going on with the lighting here? Anyways.
This gives you that dark, mysterious look. Like you're like a protected witness.
Yeah, it's like she's in a play or something.
I'm being interviewed by the Secret Service. Anyways, so they wanted me to do an interview, and I was going to talk to them. And then the lady says, "Oh, well, bring your gun for props and bring whatever else you can. We'll use it as a prop." And I told her, I says, "My gun is not a prop. And I wouldn't use it
as a prop."
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I wonder what Alec Baldwin would say. Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's not loaded.
I have no clue. But then now I got a call from this Fred. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my background here. I don't know what's going on. I got a call from this Fred guy, and he wanted to know if he could just have a phone conversation with me about the Kenosha thing. And he had said that in Europe, they only get one-sided information about the Kenosha riots. And the rhetoric over there was still that Kyle went there and shot up black people. I mean, the trial was live. I don't know why people couldn't see the trial, and I don't know what the big thing was, but I was really dumbfounded as to what he was telling me. So I agreed, and we set up a phone conversation. We had a real long conversation. He was a decent guy. He was a pretty nice guy. So then he said that they might be coming to the U.S. and doing interviews, and if I'd be interested. And from the conversation, I said, okay, I would. I thought it was a different group. And then I got a hold of Dustin, who went down there with us, and I got a hold of Danton, who went down there with us, and they wanted to know if I knew, I can't remember that other idiot's name, Ryan Balch. And and I said I didn't know Ryan's number. I don't know how to get a hold of him. You'll have to do that on your own. So they came. It got stalled a little bit, but they came and we did an interview with them. Now, the lady that was doing the interview, she had done these documentaries, and she did a documentary on one of the wars over in Europe, and she won like some big prize on it, and she was telling us all about it, and they were really nice, really sweet. They actually came over to Dustin's house, and it's a nice old well done farmhouse. So we sat there and did our interviews. First thing she does is pulls out a rocker for when it's my turn to do an interview and says, "Here, you're Grambo, you're Granny, you can sit in the rocker." So I did. I sat in the rocker and I did my interview. Well,
you have to speak up. I have a hard time hearing you.
Yeah. So
a little Afghan on her.
Yeah. Put my hair up in rollers. So they interviewed us, and it was a pretty good interview, but you still don't know how they're going to spin this. I mean, they're telling us how in Europe it's mostly one-sided news they get, but yet I can watch BBC News and I don't hear like just one side. I just hear them, giving the news as to what's going on, but they don't really get into too many details. So anyways, we did that, and it comes out Tuesday in Europe, And then the next morning it comes out in the US and Canada. So it comes out Wednesday morning. You can see it on BBC Select. I posted it on Lisa's thread group that she has. And then I found out that like if you do streaming TV, you can download apps and stuff. There's a BBC Select that you can just download, and I believe it'll be on there for free. So I don't know. I'm
I was
curious.
Kyle interviewed for it too?
I don't remember if Kyle. They were still waiting because they were there for like another 2 weeks after me and Dustin, and they were waiting for Kyle to reply. They were working it out with Kyle's people. So I don't know. I was going to ask Kyle, but I haven't asked him yet.
You know what we need to do is we need to do another stream where we watch your show on this show. Once I get my Wi-Fi fixed, actually the Ethernet's working okay. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I remember watching myself on the trial, and I'm sitting there making the same faces that I was making at the trial. And it's like, oh my God, I really do that. So I don't like watching myself. So I don't know how well I would do with that one, but
I always thought, and certainly nobody mentioned anything like, I can't wait. I can't believe the way she scowls all the time or whatever.
I don't think I scowl. I probably make grunts and groans. So Nate said they're starting some new platform, and this is like their introductory documentary. Yeah.
It's scary though when you're on the stand. And I remember you and I talked about it. Remember I called you or you called me to, talk about testifying and all of that. And if you've never really done it and you're in a big high profile trial like that, it can be really intimidating.
And I was calm as a cucumber. I mean, even talking to the FBI, they were at my house how many freaking times, talking to the investigators, to the other detectives. I was fine. I went to court. I was fine. I froze the minute the doors opened to the court. I was like in a la la land. And I didn't even realize that the jury was sitting to my left. I'm turning and talking to people, and I'm turning and talking to people. And I could turn, and I bet you I could have reached my hand out, and I could have touched this woman. She was that close to me. And then all of a sudden I turned back to listen to what somebody was asking me, and then it hit me. Oh my God, that's the jury sitting there. And I never even realized that that's how close they were to you.
I like how Gage put on his little show where, like if this was the microphone, he would lean down and go, yes. And lean down and, answer each question, like trying to be.
No.
Yeah. Like,
no.
Oh, it was driving me insane. It was driving me insane.
He's such a wimp. All right, I got to fix my video.
Well, and I've said it before that his lawyer, if she's smart, she's not going to allow him to get on the stand in the civil trial. She'll do some settlement because Mark Richards is going to flail him alive.
You mean Paul Prediger?
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, he was supposed to be on my show, and he never did show up. And you know what? Not too happy about that. But okay, lead me on like that. All right. But he's been on social media and causing all kinds of disruptions and stuff. In my opinion, both he and Kyle really should lay off social media. But I even have a video on that where I show them where they're both making inflammatory comments that are not going to look good, even though they're not admissible in the upcoming court. There's just the things that you don't want your client saying if you're, going up for a litigation. But I don't know. Let's see here. We got, by the way, do you guys understand what Kat means by this?
What the heck?
I don't know what she's saying here. Something about the chair? I couldn't tell you. You might have to clarify that, Kat.
Did you gal of the chair like what's his name during trial? Did I gal of the chair? What?
Yeah, there's a typo there, and I'm not quite figuring out what it means. Let's go on down here. Oh, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
That's an interesting case. You know,
So was that because the prosecution had the wrong evidence, or what happened there? I didn't get to
well,
hear
no,
the
they
whole thing.
withheld it from the defense,
Oh, for
and
fuck's
that's a
sakes.
big no-no. Now,
Oh, did I fall from the chair? Sorry.
oh yeah,
No, I didn't fall off the chair.
Hey, Johnny, speaking of a DEI hire, that special prosecutor had to have been a DEI hire in that Alec Baldwin case, because I could not believe the job that she did. And
well,
then
what
she
about the
put herself
armor?
on the stand and put herself on the stand and literally lied up there. I was just, my mouth just dropped. I was like, she is really stupid. Like, there's just, if I was fighting a case and I had a prosecutor like that, I don't know, I'd ask for a new intern from the law school versus someone like her, because oh my God, I just couldn't believe it.
Well, it sounds like she should be on my next Loco Lawyers episode. By the way, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I have a series called Loco Lawyers. And
Really?
Oh my God, I could give you about 30 of them, right?
well, I might be wanting to talk to you then. But I have 13 of them right now. No, 15, I believe. And maybe she's going to be number 16. I came across an interesting tidbit. If you remember Tiffany Henyard and the Dalton deal, the city of Dalton got sued because of a car chase for $35 million and lost. And Tiffany refuses to pay the law firm that ran that. And that law firm is Levy and Levy, the same law firm that is suing Kyle Rittenhouse. It's kind of an interesting story. I'm going to do a shorts on that at some point. But
It's amazing how that goes around.
Yeah, they were part of my Loco Lawyers too, because of their lawsuit brief is absolutely hysterical. But yeah, it looks to me like this prosecutor needs to go on my Loco Lawyers thing. So she really screwed it up, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, geez. Going back, somebody asked, well, how do I feel about it and all that? Look, a lot of people talking about Alec Baldwin should be tried for murder. I never said that. I thought that it was negligent of him not checking the gun. I don't think I would go for a criminal conviction on it, in all honesty. And I can't stand the dude.
Yeah, I can't stand him either.
But
I think that's going to be a case where we'll never get answers as to how that live ammo got on that set. I mean, there's just so many, like, so-and-so got the box from this person, who got it from that person. And like Court TV had like an org chart of how it possibly got on the set. And I don't know.
Well,
I don't think it's.
Think about all these old Westerns. Like my mom likes watching all the old shows, and we're sitting there watching all these old Westerns one day. And it's like, look at all these Westerns that we watched. They didn't have all the technology and all the people that they do today. And you never heard of that back then.
Again, the girl that was in charge of the ammo and all of that was this young girl, new, wasn't experienced. I don't know, maybe another DEI hire. You should do a series on DEI hires, because
no shit.
But
well, her father,
admitted she was young, and even though her dad, was an expert on it or whatever, she admitted, like, I just didn't have the experience and all that. So why are you running the whole thing? You should be working under somebody. That's usually how you do it. But these people want to just get these great jobs. Like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Hire me, and I should be in charge. And that's how these actions happen.
But if I put myself in her shoes, okay, I'm not really that experienced, and I've been given this really important role. I'm going to be extra cautious. In fact, overbearing, right? Overprotective, because I'm worried about making a mistake. She didn't seem to care.
They're not. I don't think they're smart enough to figure out that. Mm-hmm. I really don't.
But yeah, I think that she bears a lot of culpability for what happened. I'm not sure that I really hold Alec Baldwin in too much blame for what happened. Because, look, I mean, I understand the rules of gun safety, but he's not in a position to know those. However, he did hire her. He's culpable.
But he's the producer.
Yeah.
He should know.
He's not blameless. However, is it criminal? And I'm not certain that's criminal negligence. You should not have hired
I
this
don't like
person.
Alec, but I agree with you. I wouldn't
Yep.
have charged him with that. I think it was a
We
bad.
wanted to see him charged, but should he have been? No.
And I get that according to the very letter of the law, you could look at it and say he's guilty of negligent manslaughter. But I'm also of the opinion that you have to put the human element in there. And while maybe technically he might have been guilty, I'm not going to convict him because I really don't. Let me put it this way: this is something that could have happened to me. If I was a
Yeah.
if I was a actor on a set and I'm given the gun and I'm told by the armor, who's a professional,
Yep.
it's only filled with blanks, I'm not sure that I'd have opened it up and checked every round.
Oh, I would have though.
Well, okay, but
Training teaches you that.
But keep in mind, not everybody comes from a gun culture. I do. I mean,
Right,
yeah,
right.
realistically, I would have. But if
Right.
I was in his shoes, if I'm an actor, and that's my experience as
Yeah.
acting, I'm not coming from a culture where you check everything twice and all that.
Yeah.
And so I think that could have happened to me. And I have a hard time convicting somebody of something that I could have done. I just
I
don't.
get it.
So yeah, despicable person. I can't stand him, but I am not upset by the ruling. You know, do I think he should have gone to prison for what he did? No, I really don't. Sorry, a lot of people are going to be mad, but don't care. I call them as I seize them.
Can we at least sew his mouth shut?
Is what?
Sew his mouth shut.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah, Brady rule violation, right? So, the Brady rule basically states that if you have evidence that the other side could not have foreseeably come across, you have to provide it. And they could not have known about this bullet or bullets, so you have to provide it to them. And it's especially important on the prosecution side. The defense can get away with that a lot more than the prosecution can. Because you're supposed to, as a prosecutor, you're supposed to bend over backwards to tell the truth, tell the whole story. The defense, they can get dirtier because basically it's your job to defend your client tooth and nail. But the prosecutor has an obligation to make sure that the accused gets a fair trial, and you can't do that.
Well, they
if
have
you
the
don't
burden
have
of
evidence.
proof. Yeah, they got the burden of proof.
Right.
So let's move on to the Trump thing. I hate Alec Baldwin. He got off lucky.
Yeah, let me see what else I've got going here. Well, we have Schenk from the Young Turks talking about it being a BB gun. I can show it to you, but I can just tell you he's proposing the idea that this is just a BB gun. Okay.
Somebody else said it was a shard of glass from the bulletproof screen.
I mean, possible, yeah. Likely, no. But I mean, I guess it could have happened that way. But
Well, there's that one photo where you can see it. You can see
the bullet wasn't by. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm backwards now on the screen, but if you're looking at Trump, you could see it. Like,
yeah.
Projecting.
And when you're talking shards of glass, you're just trying to find some explanation to extricate you from this argument. I mean, that's that would be down low on my list of possibilities. I wouldn't rule it out, but people are proposing that. Look, you're just trying to find this alternate explanation for what is the most obvious. The most obvious is some dude got up on the roof and took a shot at Trump and almost killed him.
The bottom line that makes me like physically ill just to think about it was this guy went up there to kill him. And if he would have succeeded, this would have been caught on video for everybody to see. All the people, live streaming at the rally, plus all the legitimate media on there. I mean, can you imagine somebody getting shot in the head on live TV, a former president? I mean, I feel like somebody wanted that to happen, and that's what they thought.
Oh yeah, well, they did
because
there's
they
millions of them.
They could have attempted that at a million other places, like Mar-a-Lago when Trump's on the golf course. I mean, Trump goes to McDonald's, all this stuff, and it's really a sickening feeling to think about that. That's what their plan was. Because how would they not have planned that? and known that that was going to happen. I mean, it's really a gruesome thought. I mean, I don't want to think about it, but I can't get it out of my head. Like how it was just, it had to have been a millimeter that Ron Johnson was on and said, Ron Johnson's our senator here, and said Trump was looking at the chart that Ron Johnson had created about illegal immigration. And he just turned that chart at that time. And that's how it just.
Ron Johnson's the hero.
And the doctor that was on said that if Trump would have gotten hit on that side of the brain, there's a 98% chance that he would be dead, because that area of the brain, you can't live without it, So it's
the conspiracy theories. Oh, by the way, the biggest conspiracy theory, of course, is that this is all staged.
Yeah.
The photo op. Well, that's too good. That must have been staged. And let me go ahead and ask you guys, what do you think of that? This was not even a real assassination attempt. This is all staged to make Trump look heroic.
People have Trump completely misunderstood. I mean, he is arrogant. He loves himself a lot, but he likes the general public, and he's not racist, and he doesn't hate groups of people. And
yep.
I'm sure that he's completely torn up inside about these people dying there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he donates a huge chunk of money. Not like money can ever bring these people back, but I know he already has the GoFundMe up for them that he authorized. And
yep.
People, they have such a misconstrued idea about him. And yeah, he can be a dick, and he can be an asshole, and he can be arrogant. But hey, running our country's a business too, and we need somebody that can do it, walk in there day one and make shit happen, and that's just how it is. And I don't know, people need to quit being softies and just realize we need somebody that cares about us truly. This guy's he could be golfing and hanging out at the pool and having hot women bringing him drinks every day, for crying out loud. But this guy's fighting for us. It makes no sense to me that people don't. Well, half the country doesn't understand that. I don't get it.
Just as a note, I'm all down for it. Monday night, tomorrow night, no problem. Text me or DM me more about what you want to cover. So I'm all for it. That'll be with Nate DeBruin. I'll be in contact with him.
So Johnny, hold on. Okay, Johnny. So if you want to do something Wednesday night, maybe we can get Lisa, you, me, Nate. Maybe Kat will join us so we can watch the documentary together.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm free that night too. So let's talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm all for it. The other thing is that, Trump, he gets nearly shot. They have him down on the ground. He gets up and he does his fist pump, right? I mean, let's face it. Even if you hate Trump, you have to recognize that this makes him look really good.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, look, if Biden had been nearly shot and he gets up and goes, "Oh yeah, is that all you got? Is that all you got?" I would be saying, damn, okay, wait, I might hate his politics, but I got to give it up to him.
Yeah.
He really responded well. Okay. Same thing with Trump. This conspiracy thing is all designed to try to take away from that. He probably was in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Their idea was that the Secret Service did all this for a photo op for him.
So there were lefties that came forward on Twitter this morning that I saw that actually said that we got to give it, this really makes him look badass. And they're lefties. They're not for Trump. They're anti-Trumpers. Mm-hmm. And they actually,
I think they recognize that this is really bad for them. Trump is going to use the hell out of this. Now, mind you, I don't know how heroic it really was. It's just like with Kyle, right? Kyle Rittenhouse, hero. He's going to defend the nation. Well, no, he got himself into a bad spot and he shot his way out of it. Fine. Yeah. Self-defense, I get it. But I'm not exactly worried about getting into a scrap with Kyle in a dark alley. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not. And so I don't consider Kyle a hero. I really don't like it when people make him out to be one. And to be honest, I don't think he disagrees with me on that. He's pissed off at me for other reasons. But
Mhm.
and it's the same thing with Trump. I don't know how heroic this really was, but it does look heroic. You can't deny the optics.
I mean, I feel like it makes him look more like a human. Like he gets shot. The Secret Service is trying to rush him off, and he's like, wait, wait. And he's like moving them away, trying to get them away from him so he can say, fight, fight. You could kind of hear him. He doesn't, I don't know if he says, wait, wait, or something like that. He's
I
trying
think
to
he
get
says
away
fight,
from
fight.
them for a second. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's
Well,
crazy.
and here's what I thought was funny. I'm going to do an actual short on this. But Trump was able to look at the crowd and go, fight, 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 because the DEI hire was so much shorter than him.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
If he had a 6'5" Secret Service dude in front of him, he
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to do it. Wouldn't have been able to see him.
I don't know. I think he would have got his way out there. And I think that's just I think it's part of Trump's personality. You know, he's always been that fighter, and he's always wants to be up front. And like Lisa said, he's a showboat. So of course he's going to get up there and do that.
Well,
So I think even if he had a big guy, he probably would have pushed him aside or got in between there or something. I thought it was
I don't know
badass
what
too.
kind
But
of physical and mental state he was in. You know, I mean, obviously his head was clearing up pretty good. I mean, let's face it, he's going to be dazed and confused initially.
oh yeah,
We all
Probably
will.
a lot of adrenaline.
yeah,
Probably a lot of
yep.
adrenaline.
But he obviously gathered up and recognized, hey, this is an opportunity to show what I'm like, what I am. And he took advantage of it. And I can't fault him for that. He saw
Yeah.
the photo op opportunity and he took advantage of it. And I'll say this also, if Biden is canceling and he's going to do the RNC, that makes Biden look really bad.
Oh yeah.
This guy can get
Weak.
up in front of an audience now. You can too, little wussy boy.
And if
People
he
were
had
arguing about that too in the comments, they said, "Oh no, Trump didn't say that." When he put his fists up or whatever and said, "Fight, fight." I watched it a million times, and that's
Yep.
what it was. They were saying that he was saying, "I'm fine, I'm fine," but I'm like,
no,
he was saying, "Fight, fight."
Oh, come on. You know that's not what he was saying. He was saying, Sig Heil, Sig Heil, Sig Heil.
oh yeah, right.
That's what's going to happen.
Jesus.
Pretty soon now, we're going to get, we got really good audio now. And here's what he's really said. You know, and that's going to go around
Yeah.
and around. Like, you know,
Biden
Heil
took his
Hitler, Heil
roof
Hitler.
off. And I just got word that they are taking Biden's ads off all of our Milwaukee County transit buses. He had all his Biden ads on the buses for this RNC. And they are now today taking all the ads off the buses down there. So
Why?
Yeah, what's going on there?
because Biden was saying, Trump needs to be a target and all this rhetoric.
Awesome. They're coming back at him finally.
No, Biden is taking his own ads off the TV, and Biden is having his
Oh.
own ads removed off the county buses here in Milwaukee.
Wow.
Well, that is also a thing that I wanted to cover, but unfortunately, when I went to pick up the video, it's gone past it, so I can't find it. But let's talk about this deal about Hitler and Trump. Trump is Hitler, right? I mean, this political rhetoric that has led to this, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I don't know where they come up and say that he's Hitler. I even have my massage therapist reciting CNN saying he said right out he's going to be a dictator from day one. Don't people realize that we, the people that want him, don't want a dictator? And if he became that dictator, we would rise up against him. That's not what we want, and that's not what he's going to be.
That's why we
I
have a
just
Second
don't-
Amendment.
Yeah,
That takes critical thinking skills, and a lot of
I
the people don't
know.
have that. Like they just hear the ads and they regurgitate the crap they see on social media and share it without even letting it absorb and thinking about it a little bit and going like, no, I don't think he's a dictator. Like, look up the word dictator, what it means even. Do they even know what it means, what they're saying, or what they're
Well,
calling him?
some of these people I talk to, they're not unintelligent. It's just I don't think they want to think outside the box. I think they're just listening to CNN. They're not brainwashed. It's just, sometimes you can listen to someone and you can say, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then you can't hear anything else.
The
So,
first time that I saw this kind of rhetoric, and I remember it vividly, was when Reagan was running. And when
yeah.
Reagan was running, the big deal then was that he was going to start a nuclear war because he believed in the rapture. This was a serious thing. The fact that a number of Catholic priests did a campaign to stop Reagan because he's going to start nuclear war because he believed in the rapture. And then, of course, Reagan had to say, well, I do believe in the rapture, but I'm not the one to kind of start it, right?
Yeah.
That's not my role. But that's when this thing kind of started. And then when George W. Bush became president, we started seeing the hangings, the burning in effigies, and Bush being painted as Hitler and all that kind of stuff. That's when I think the first time that we really did see real vitriol like that starting to crop up. People hated Clinton, but I don't remember them doing that kind of thing. But it was George W. Bush that I thought was the first to garner this, and it's only gotten worse. Remember the comedian who lifted up, Trump's head, decapitated head, right?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
bloodied head.
Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
And you think that that's acceptable, but they defended her. Oh, she's a comedian. It wasn't funny. That's not funny.
Madonna saying she
What-
wanted to blow up the White House. How was that even acceptable?
I grew up in the punk era, so I listened to the Dead Kennedys and stuff like that, and these were really raunchy lyrics and stuff. But nobody took it seriously. These people are taking it seriously,
Yep.
and I really do think that this is what you get out of it, because people, they think that they're going to stop a genocide. If I can kill Trump, I'm going to save millions
Yeah.
of people from certain death. But we already had Trump for 4 years. He didn't
Yeah.
round up people and have them executed. And I'm not a fan of the dude. I think he's a jackass, to be honest with you. I am not. I don't look up to him at all. I agree with a lot of his politics, but he's not going to commit genocide. Everybody, not going to
Yeah.
happen. You're going to see another 4 years of what you saw before. And while you may not have liked it, you didn't get rounded up and thrown in jail. You weren't tortured, not like that. And quite frankly, you didn't get sent off to war, which
Yeah, but
happens to
how
a lot of these presidents.
how can these people think that if he gets in, he's going to become a dictator? And it's like, how do you not say that Biden's being a dictator now? I mean,
I think they're all scared because they had Clinton, they had not Clinton, Obama, and so much crap happened under Obama, and Trump comes in and ignites this like patriotic movement and gets people fired up about politics and issues again. And for the longest time, nobody was really fired up about anything. And
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
true.
lefties really got scared by it. Like, I think they're scared and intimidated, and that's why they don't like MAGA and all of that. I just feel like they're super scared about it. They don't like it. They wanted to have free reign and keep on going like they were. That's
Somebody else made a really good comment about why they're so scared of Trump. And I never thought of this one, but it's actually pretty good. They said they're scared of Trump because he could release all the names of the pedophiles on Epstein Island. I thought that was pretty good. That'd be enough to be scared of Trump.
I mean,
knowing Trump, I don't even picture him to do it. To me, that all seems like such, in Trump's mind, that seems like such petty BS. Like, Trump's about making money, business, no wars, negotiating with these foreign leaders. I don't think Trump gives two shits about the Epstein stuff.
And you're probably right, Lisa, but the left don't believe that. The left believe you got evidence on the left, they want you dead.
I think they probably think Trump will put Biden and Hillary and everybody else in prison too, which would be nice, but I don't think Trump has any interest in that either.
Trump doesn't have the ability to do that. He had 4 years to do that, and he didn't do it.
All right.
By the way, why don't people call Biden and Obama dictators? Because he's not. We haven't had a dictatorship. The closest thing we had was FDR, who tried to pack the court, and he did a lot of things that were kind of edging in kind of close to that. But we haven't had a dictator, and I will say this: people that are making the claim that Trump is going to be a dictator, they don't know what a dictator is like. They
No, you're
haven't
right.
had, the education. I was just finished my book on Goebbels. Okay, this is called getting to know what these people are like, and these kids don't do it. I read the book Gulag. Forget her name, but she wrote Applebaum, I think, wrote a great book on the Gulag. And when you read it, you get perspective. You start to realize just what a true dictatorship does, and it is horrifying when you are going to sleep and you're afraid of the knock on the door. And when you get the knock on the door, your life is over. They will torture you until you confess, and then they'll take you down in the cellar and shoot you. And these kids growing up in school don't know that. They don't know that history. The only thing they know about are the Nazis. And by the way, when you read this book, Goebbels, it sounds communist. These guys were socialists. A lot of people, the Nazis weren't socialists. No, read Goebbels' diary. He's a socialist. I mean, and he was the mind mapper for the Nazi Party. So whatever he felt was the way the Nazis went. So I think that people need to educate themselves on this and realize what a true dictatorship is like. Nothing that Trump is going to do is going to come close to what a real dictator does.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read in some of the African countries, what they went through, with cannibalism and stuff, dictators can do some really horrifying things. Stalin, what drives me crazy are these people complaining about a dictatorship, running around with the Soviet flag, and of all the people who were tyrants, Joseph Stalin was the worst probably around. A lot of people don't know it, but his executioner wore out 5 pistols from shooting so many people.
Oh my God.
Well, they claim that he has personally killed more people than anyone in history. We're talking 20, 30,000 that went down in the cellar.
Wow.
So if you know that, you might have a little perspective and quit jumping on this Soviet bandwagon thing. And because the only reason why they really like the Soviets is because they opposed Hitler. But the Soviets were every bit as bad. Okay, now I've gotten off my bandwagon here, and I'll turn it over to you. But there's a lack of perspective, and this whole idea that Trump is like a Hitler, no. They don't understand what Hitler did. They don't understand what Stalin did. They don't know true misery and, the violation. I mean, sorry, not being able to get an abortion, however you feel about it, it's not like being put in a gas chamber.
Yeah.
It's just.
Hang on, I gotta run outside a second because it's about to storm. I have to put something in the garage. That's why I turned around. I heard it boo. I'm like, what is going on? It sounded like a bomb.
Yeah, it's going to start here soon. So
you know what? Maybe this is a good time to stop. I'll wait till she gets back.
Okay.
You go ahead and take care of your thing. But I think we're kind of getting close in on 2 hours anyway.
Yeah.
And I've kind of burned up my pulpit. I think I'm done with it anyway. But any kind of final comments on that? What do you think?
No, I just, I'm seeing a lot of these young people and their TikTok videos condemning Trump, saying, too bad he wasn't a better shot. Trump's a dictator. He's a Nazi. You're right. They don't know what any of that is. They don't know what a true dictator is. They've lived a posh freaking life. They don't even know what it's like to live in a third world country. And then you have people like The View, Kamala Harris, Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, all these people that are just fueling the flames, fueling their mental illness. It's just, and even the conservatives, some of the conservatives are doing the same damn thing. They're fueling the flames. It's just, I don't know if social media has just not allowed their brains to grow normally, but holy crap, some of these
Yeah.
kids, it's like, I don't know how they're going to make it through life because the
Well,
real world's going to kick their ass.
if you had any chance of learning true history, it's gone now because you can get it off of Twitter and you're not going to learn it that way.
Right.
Excuse me. By the way, it says here, did it go through? Sorry. Did it go through or did Susan sink her tentacles into the chat again? I have no idea what's going on there. I'm
It's
sorry.
from Graham. He's been trying to send messages, but it seems like YouTube is blocking him. Won't allow his text to go through.
I
So
don't know.
apparently Susan is a nickname for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I never heard that one.
Learn something new every day.
I just learned it today in the chat.
Why didn't
Anyways,
you lie? Use COVID? Can't tell you. Let's see here. Final. What time tomorrow night, Johnny? Just whenever time you want, Kat. Let me know. Just send me a direct message, and I'm good anytime, really. And guess what? It is at exactly the 2-hour mark, and I think it's time. I think I've burned up everything I want to say. Any final comments?
Lisa, I shot mine out there. Any final things you want to say?
I hope we get some sort of answers. I hope somebody is held accountable. I think Secret Service needs to start answering some questions. We need to know, why that building was unattended, and we have to continue to hope that Trump ups his security big time, because I knew this was going to happen a while ago. I've been talking about it with people, like something bad's going to happen. I just sense it. And I have a feeling it won't be the last attempt because they're too desperate right now. So what?
Good night, Kat. We're saying
I was saying good night to Kat.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
see that up there. So yeah, I just hope everything stays quiet. I hope they can have a good week and get past all that. I'm sure Trump will get past it, and they'll have a good week here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Security sounds okay. I did talk to some police. They said it's generally okay, but there's lots of unorganized things happening within the department. But there are, I think, 4,500 police from other states here that are assisting. I did see them on TV, like they're on bicycles, they're on motorcycles, they're walking the streets down there. So security is pretty amped up, and I know a lot of hotels are rented out by the RNC, and those have armed security through all the hotels. So I just hope everything stays quiet and peaceful. I'm glad that it's going to storm, because that'll keep a lot of weirdos at home tomorrow, even though the protest they moved the protest area far away from where the general RNC attendees will be, but a storm will keep all the weirdos away, so glad we'll have a storm tomorrow. But for the rest of the week, I just hope it's peaceful and we start getting things sorted out and this never happens again.
Do you have any social media channels that you want to advertise here? Let people follow you and things like that, or?
I really don't. We kind of keep a low profile on social media. Okay. Somebody can always shoot a message to here, and you can put me in contact if they have any questions about anything. But yeah, we stay low off the radar pretty much.
Okay. How about you, Ann? Anything final you want to say?
No, just let's get together. I said my piece before. I'm just tired of these young TikTokers with no real life experience. It's just frustrating. But I would like to get together Wednesday night or
Let's do it.
Yeah, Lisa, if you'd like to join us, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the documentary together. It's only 53 minutes long, the documentary.
So you guys are going to watch it on here, or I should watch it ahead of time?
No, I think we can live stream it here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what time it comes on or if it just gets released. You know how like on Netflix, if it's released, it's just out there. You grab it when you want. I don't know how it works. So I don't know if it plays at like 7 or what.
Well, we got a couple days to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's probably, if it's a live stream, you could pull it up probably at any time, but I can look too.
Yeah. We'll have to figure it out. Oh, there you go. You already got a fan, Lisa.
Yay!
By the way, Kat.
You have done a wonderful
By the way-
job.
Thank you, Kenosha
Yes.
Cat.
Both of you did. Both of you did. You kept it going, kept it live, especially when I was gone.
Yeah, well,
You did
somebody
better
had
than
to
I
step
did.
up, Johnny. And Kat, no, I did not fall off my chair. I don't know what the noise was. I just got up, walked outside, came back in.
So, do you want to go ahead and advertise, tell everybody how to get a hold of you on Twitter so you can pound my own social media in the dirt more?
Yeah, you can find me at Citizen Ann on Twitter. I'm also on Truth Social. I think I'm Citizen. Yep, I am Citizen Ann there as well. And I think Tucker Carlson is even following me on Truth Social.
Tucker is following you?
Yeah, I was so shocked I had to take a screenshot.
That's cool.
Oh, man. I don't
Yeah.
think the biggest celebrity I got following me is you, Ann.
No, you got Photo Chad and
Yeah.
yeah, you got a lot.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and finish it off here. The Johnnie Walker Dread Show. I just posted a video about DEI and the Secret Service according to the Trump assassination. So if that interests you, go to my channel, watch the video. I think it's like 15 minutes long. And I would have loved to have shown it to you here, but I got some technical problems that cropped up.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
anyway, go watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. Again, if you're interested in the Kyle Rittenhouse deal, if you're interested in Rashad Ritchie's BS, the myth of police brutality is another one I cover a lot. And I have a feeling I'm going to be doing the Trump assassination stuff a lot because this thing is a very fascinating story.
Yeah.
But at any rate, thanks everybody for joining on. Take care, Kat. I'm glad you were able to come on. And yeah, let's
And
keep it
come
going.
out.
I will, absolutely.
No. She came on and came out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she came out. I thought you were talking about me to come out there to Wisconsin, which I promised to do.
Well, yeah, that too.
I promised to do. And it looks like tomorrow night we're going to be doing something, and then Wednesday night we're going to be doing something. We're going to watching Anne on the BBC giving her story.
And Photo Chad and Dustin.
Oh, that's right.
Gage
Yeah.
is in there. Yep. A lot of photos from Photo Chad. So yeah, it
If
should
we
be
could
it
get
should be
Gage to
interesting.
watch it with us, that would be a hoot.
I
That
don't
ain't
know.
gonna happen.
That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna go down nice with me.
So, thanks everybody. I appreciate it.
having me.
Thank both of you, and we'll